Well, hey, folks, thanks for joining us at the Off-Grid Camp. We now have hot and cold water full time. We've always had a nice temporary shower, but this is sweet. So, taking a peek inside here, it's just a cozy little camp. It's a bunkhouse for us. So for visitors and such, I think everybody will be comfy here. Everything's brand new and looks nice. Looking down here at the gas line, that's the yellow shutoff valve there. It's 3/4 inch gas tube by code, taped up nice and tight, and of course, tested and leak tested and everything. Your hot and cold, cold water in, hot water out, and your hot and cold water shutoff valves, so I could take things apart if needs be. I can't hold my hand in there anymore. See if we can get a steam, see how hot it gets. You can see the flame inside of the heater there. They're small, but it's a little window to look in, and the red light showing, that the heater is on, that it's lit, So I got a nice little heat deflector shield here. The wall is totally cold, but this is aluminum, and so what it does is it allows it to hit this, blow it out into the room, and dissipate. And it cools. All you folks who have baked and you take aluminum foil, back in the day when you used aluminum foil before parchment paper, when you pull the aluminum foil out of a hot 400-degree oven and you pull the food off of it, it cools almost instantly to where you can crumble it up into a ball and throw it in a trash can. That's how quick aluminum dissipates heat, henceforth the aluminum dissipation plate. Flame goes out, turn the water on, flame lights. Instant hot water. Turn it off, out it goes. This is code and it's fine. And I have everything clamped. You can see I have clamps on all the lines, screwed to the wall. Everything's all clamped up nice, like it should be. Yeah. And, so it's not all over the place, but I still want to put a little kickbox around it, We'll paint it up and make it look nice. So that's it. Looking pretty good in here now. You get to the shower here. And there you have it, of course. We got the happy camper shower curtain. And a nice shower. Everything up and running. I actually had to give this a little rinse anyway because we just showered and it was all had a couple little blades of grass in the bottom, little fly and stuff here. Get this out of here. There we go. Nice clean shower. These you have to turn these up to make them go on, and turn them down to turn it off, because if something falls on this, it's in the off position. It doesn't go past this position. I just thought it better to put the stop sort of on the lever on the down position. And this is the same way. This is the hot water side. A good hot water base coming out of here. And this is cool. It's 5 position. You got, so you can see it better here. Wide, like a pulse. Just different stuff. This is like the normal strong one. So yeah, it's pretty hot. You can see the steam coming off the water. See it? There. This is what I wanted to show you in the kitchen. I can see it perfectly now, Monkey. You see how hot it gets? And it's you can't hold your hand in it, so you got to mix some cold water with it. As adults, we want the ability to turn this on full on hot, and then it's going to open your pores up, in other words. So it's going to go as hot as you can take it and beyond, and that's, as an adult, what we want. So I set the hot water heater via the power of the heat and the water flow to make it strong enough to make the water steam. You can adjust it. I adjusted this by closing it off, making the water run through this slower, in other words, with full heat, because I want it to really cook, like you saw it in here. It's steaming, And that way, like I said, of course, you flip it all the way up and then get it to steam. And then you just, add your cold water in until you touch it and it feels right for you. So if it doesn't steam, it's no good to me. And this right here is a vent, just so you guys know. Let's talk about venting. Steam that comes out of the shower, heat and ventilation that comes out of that goes right out of this here. Goes right out of the ceiling. And of course, heat rises, steam rises. As it just crawls up the ceiling, it just goes zip right out. So this is cool. We can just close this, close her down all the way, you know, but you open it up and it's got a screen in it and a little fan even, you know, so, you know, we have a nice, it'll draw the steam right out of the bathroom. So it's pretty cool. You know, everybody knows the size of a regular vacuum cleaner. So by gauging that and a full laundry bath, you could see the space in here. You know, it's not super big, but it's not super small. For 2 people, it's perfect. We have visitors and company. They would be totally at home in here. You know, anybody sort of boarding or hanging out or coming up for a visit or whatever, you know, if you stayed and you had your own little place in here, because this is going to be bunk here, the bunkhouse. For those folks that want to, you know, they're going to stay a week or 2, maybe a month or something to come camp or visit, you know, you have your own space here, your own kitchen, your own fridge, you know, shower, you know, everything. So that's the whole idea of putting so much time into this, because not only are we building the property out and living in it, but we're counting on it to be the bunkhouse down the road. So we're going the extra mile, not just to keep it as a camper and pull it around, but to actually keep it here on a foundation and just use the shell of it for a bunkhouse. So there's my missus just chilling on the couch, all sprawled out, checking out and reading and doing whatnot. But we're relaxing here at the Off-Grid Camp. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Smash that like. Please subscribe and follow us along. Peace out.